And back behind those horses, I Am Unstoppable. Osmosis at the clock tower, led by a length to Shinzo, Arkansas Kid, and I Am Unstoppable is running on. The leader, Osmosis, with 50 metres to go. Osmosis is clear and will take it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, punters of all ages, welcome back to the Quaddie Poddy, fresh off Cup Day, ready for Oaks Day, and ready to attack Champions Day. Cashy joined by Nick. How are you, mate?
Good, man. Lots and lots to touch on.
Quite a bit to touch on, yes.
Yeah, it's been a good week for us overall.
Certainly has. Lot of money won.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat, to be honest. At least if you're following us, you would be.
Yeah, I mean, look, I feel like a lot of the people that listen to this pod are young punters who love a multi. You know, a lot of the older generation say, stick away from your multis, like that's where they get you, and like don't just back favourites, find the value. But a lot of favourites got up on Saturday, so if your favourites back are good on you. If you combine them into a few multis, like we certainly did, even better on you. Like Golden Eagle's always been very kind to us, and it was again on the weekend.
Yeah, it was good, man. We'll touch on the Melbourne Cup in a little bit, guys, which I'm sure is hot on everyone's mind, as it was only a couple yesterday. But yeah, Golden Eagle Day always suits us really well. Autumn Glow on top. She just dominates. She did well.
Star.
Yeah, and it's just the same thing. You got to just keep backing her until she loses. I think that's the right mentality to kind of go with. Nothing looked like beating her. She had the perfect run, perfect race. No doubts there for sure. And that was one of the many legs in a multis that we had throughout the day. We had Observer winning as well. Another one that at the moment you've just got to follow. He's dominating, and he won the Derby pretty nicely. And it'll be good to see. A lot of people went that, and then I had a couple personal ones. I had Fangirl on top, and that didn't go too well for me in the end. Pride Jenny wins.
Yeah, let's just quickly chat about that Pride of Jenny run. Like I said at the 800 metre mark, my mates were all still cheering for like their horses in the back. Like, oh no, she'll tie around. I said, boys, race is done. They've let her get away with murder again. Like, I'm adamant that horse, it's so hard and so tricky to keep up with that horse. What horses are going to be able to run those splits with her and be able to hold on? Not many, but I'm adamant. If you pressure her a little bit, she's going to feel it and she will tire late. If they pressured it, maybe she did go on to win, but she's not winning by the 8 lengths or 6 lengths or whatever it was that she won by. You're making it at least tight. If you're going to beat her, you need to make her work for it. Okay, we've seen that now multiple times. If you let her do whatever the hell she wants, she's going to piss in. If you pressure her, she's either going to fold like a deck chair or she's going to have to do it the tough way, like Brightsides made her do a couple times at the Valley, like Treasure of the Moment made her do a couple times at the Valley. Okay, maybe it wasn't a 10 length, 8 length win. 2 lengths is still pretty dominant, but you just got to make her work for it, and surely the horses do that this weekend.
It's tough, I think, man, because like it's all easy to say that, but a lot of the horses on the weekend, the ones that are left, like the Fangirls, obviously, they can't be the ones to challenge her. Otherwise, they're out of the race as well. So you got to find a horse that's honestly worth sacrificing itself for everyone else.
Yeah.
And as you saw on the weekend, no one wanted to go up with her because they would take their own horse out of the race, and it resulted in her just winning by 8 lengths. So it could be like that a bit. Again, I think the bigger field won't help her this week, which we'll touch on a little bit later. But I think in hindsight, we probably should have looked at it, and every horse in that race, none of them were going to challenge her, really. There might have been 1 or 2 that you thought probably could have, but probably missed the jump and just didn't get there in the end. She came out pretty nice, and yeah. So it's easy to say they should just do it, but then their horse, I reckon, just gets taken out of the race as well. That's why a lot of jockeys are hesitant to do it.
Oh no, 100%. Like, I love Fangirl, but is she running consistent 10.8 splits the entire race? No, she's not. That's why you're right. You need someone to be able to pressure her so those horses who can't keep up with those splits can swoop them. But I mean, I guess we'll see later. Another just unreal performance, which took away the Cashmore Stud Stakes title. I'm now 5 for 6 because Beeman and Skyglider both ran like shit. But so did Baywalk. Looks like he's a miler out and out, not really a sprinter. But who is a sprinter is Tentyrus. Just phenomenal. Weave through that field and just put him to bed with ease.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the 1 week back up this week and see how that goes in the champion sprint, which we'll touch on a little bit later as well. But yeah, dominant win. Very, very scary.
Really, really impressive. Like, we will touch on his champion sprint chances later on, but I mean, I don't blame them for going the week back up. Like, he's just come off like a career peak figure. He gets to drop all that weight. He clearly loves the straight. I mean, why not for having a crack? Will he match up to them? We'll chat later. But yeah, why put him away if he's got enough left in the tank and they reckon they can tackle another big Group 1? Like, by all means, go right ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, I mean, the only other thing to really touch on probably from Golden Eagle Day was really, really, really good run from Jimmy Star, my best of the day. I was cheering that got up. That started the weight of 1,000 multis going from Jimmy Star to Observer to Autumn Glow, or Jimmy Star into Observer, Jimmy Star into Glow, or Jimmy Star into Tentyrus. But I bumped into a guy who works for Kieran Mayer. At least he claimed to. Speaking of that, we're going to be talking to a guy who works for Kieran Mayer in a few minutes. But yeah, he's like, yeah, unreal, man. CF4 stakes load up. So Jimmy Star is not done for the spring. According to this guy, he is headed to the CF4 stakes for a showdown with Angel Capital, which will be insane. Plus, apparently, Gig Kick might also be kicking on and going there as well. So that's going to be one hell of a race to finish off the spring Melbourne-wise. I'm really keen to be seeing that one.
Yeah, for sure. And it just tapped it off with a great weekend for us on Saturday. Dabble had some really good markets that we looked at as well.
Yeah, Tentyrus or Baywalk to win, like free money in the end.
Honestly, so you always got to look at the stuff they give out, and we're starting to put a bit more on the stories now, so you can look at our socials and we'll post up if we think they're good value. So yeah, man, that's pretty much all from Saturday. You got a big lead in the tip-off now.
Yeah, because Son
Pillars.
of Deck won the 4 Pillars. Shout out to you, Jack Pilkington. I hated to see that Alabama State had to scratch because of the wet, but I took it because my second pick got up in the end. We'll be keen to see Alabama running around this Saturday, though, on a much drier deck. But yeah, so I've got a 40-point lead on you, mate. You have some chasing to do. But I mean, what you could have done was probably put Goody Two Shoes as your tip, and you would have caught up 12 points because it had a phenomenal run in the Cup. Let's touch on it. Let me take my licks first. Have you got any insults to throw my way like the rest of the world?
No, I'm easy. It's the hardest race in the world to pick. I don't blame you for not picking it. I do blame you for calling it a pretender. I think you got to take your licks there for sure. There was no reason to put it as a pretender in my eyes. I know you can sit here and say it's been up since March, but it ran so strong in the Caulfield, and then yet again just looked amazing in the Cup. So,
look, I mean, when I go through and do the Cup, I look at all the pros and the cons for the horses. It had half pros, it had half cons. You know, pros, great in the wet, fantastic Caulfield Cup run, well weighted. My cons were up since March, never gone the distance, so it's an unknown, and Cup stubble rarely ever happens. So I was like, you know what? I'm fair enough to say, don't think it's going to win. And you know what? It won. And quite frankly, I would say that that's the most impressive Melbourne Cup victory that I've had the pleasure of watching in the last 5 years since we've been doing this. It's not been a long time since we've been doing this, but gee, it was impressive. She took those small gaps, and the horse just had such a motor under him. If you look at the drone footage, you could see 400 metres out, race was over. It was just travelling so well. Every time a gap presented itself, put it through it, and like there would be another gap 50 metres up, and then like within like a second, she's through that one as well. So shout out to Jamie Carr. Like I said last week, they're going to make movies of it. They're going to make a movie out of that. Aussie owned, Aussie bred, Aussie trained, Aussie ridden, first female Cup stubble. They're going to make that movie eventually. I'm sure the movie rights have already been sold.
Yeah, Jamie Carr getting the win was good to see, and it was good for racing, and it's good for the females in the industry for sure.
Also good to Aussie bred, Aussie pure horses 2 years in a row. That is good for the Aussie staying game.
No, for sure. I think her and Ben Mellon must have had some chats, I reckon, about how it looked in turn. She said in her post-race interview that they talked about the race, and I reckon this is my theory that Smoke and Romans was no shot, and Ben goes, look, I'll give you a nice run and you'll win your cup for the first time. That's what I think. Not necessarily in a bad way, but in a sportsmanship way, a bit of team racing going on, not throwing out any allegations, but that's just my opinion. And you can see it. She followed Smoke and Romans the whole way, had covered the whole way, and then, but yeah, some of those gaps she took.
Oh yeah, brave rider, especially after she had that fall, she was not the same rider, and you could clearly see it. She wasn't taking gaps, she wasn't really taking the risks, but she is now back to full confidence, and she's back to getting on horses that also have the ability to take those gaps and go on with the job. Like, obviously she fell out of form, so maybe top trainers weren't really putting her on the best horses, but now she's back, and she's back in a big way, and my hats off to them. Like, she's
up there at the moment in the top 5, I'd say. She's been running some absolute insane winners, and that drone footage was amazing.
It's by far and away the best ride that I've seen in my short time, and it's the best training performance I've seen in my short time. Like I said, up since March. To have kept that horse in work consistently for 7 months and still have him looking like he could have done another lap at the end is just phenomenal. So my hats are off to all of them. I got it completely wrong, and you know what? The world hates me right now, but I won't be retiring, so shut the fuck up. That's all I'll say. You can comment, retire all you want. I'm not giving it up. It's the hardest race all year. Like, what am I meant to do? Like, come on.
Yeah, the only real thing else to touch on for half yours is it's disappointing to see that after such a good moment in horse racing that the activists still come out and talk about the bleeding mouth and all that kind of stuff. It's very disappointing.
They'll latch onto anything.
Those horses are taken care of better than we are, honestly. Yeah, just a little bite on the inside.
It was the same as last year when they're like, oh, breaking news, 3 horses pull up lame from the cup and all of the animal activists who have no idea what that means goes, oh my God, they're going to die. It means they've got sore legs. Like, you've never had sore legs after your version of a marathon? Like, come off it. Same thing. You've never bit your tongue so far bad you got a little bit of blood. It's a very vascular area. It is a very sensitive area that bleeds a lot whenever it cops a knock. Happens all the time.
Yeah, so that's the only real thing to add, but it was a bit annoying to see that come out of it. But yeah, Goody Two Shoes runs a nice second. Ran perfectly, honestly.
Fantastic run.
Great run. Honestly, just got beaten by a better horse on the day. That's all it was, and that's what the jockey came out and said after the race. Vaborn, I was pretty happy with that run, to be honest. Good run. Doesn't get rid of many stocks. I think he's getting a bit old, but he's going to win some races eventually, I say. But what else is there to touch on? Middle Earth ran well.
Middle Earth, shout out to you, mate. Shout out to Tom. Like, unreal for him. I was like, oh, at least that's put in a blind of a run. I also had it in a sweep, so I got my money back in one of the office sweeps. Presage Nocturne firmed in a $5.50 favourite, and I was like, I don't know if I love that or I hate that. I love that everyone's so confident. I hate cup favourites. And then, yeah, just got kept in a box the entire way. Like, that's an international jockey for you. Clearly didn't have the legs to win. Otherwise, even if it was in the box, it would have finished a little closer than 19th. But still, at least put it in the race, man. Get your elbows out. It's the Melbourne Cup. Like, you need to be doing those sort of things. Like, at least give it its fair chance. But I'm in no way saying that if it got out, it was winning, because half yours was winning 400 metres out. Yeah. Goody Two Shoes run reminded me a lot of Akita Shusi's last year. Loom to win at the top of the straight. You clearly hadn't pressed the button. I went, oh my God, like, it's looking good. Presses the button, goes on, and I'm like, oh my God, like, Nick's about to tip a $40 winner. Like, last year with me, I was like, I'm about to tip a $20 cup winner. And then just the better horses on the day just come through and just absolutely smash it.
Yeah.
I mean,
what else is there to touch on? Valiant King, Jai McNeil cops a 19 race suspension.
Played some bumper cars there. I mean, as often happens in the Cup, big field, high pressure, they all get strung out. Our Riffer, or Al Miffa, as some people have been calling him on social media. Look, phenomenal run from the wide position and all that weight to have flown home like that. phenomenal run. Just got weighted out of the race. As we continue to tell people each and every year, that weight matters so much. And everyone every year goes, nah, like they're just that good. Like they're going to piss him. Like when Gold Trip carried all that weight the second year, I was like, he's not winning. Like you can't carry that much weight and expect to win with ease. Okay? Like it requires a very, very, very good horse. That's why it hasn't happened in 50 years.
Yeah, the only two other horses to really touch on from the Cup, in my opinion, is obviously Buckaroo was very disappointing. Just went one too many in the prep, I think.
Blood in the lungs as well. But I mean, they have been saying apparently Chris didn't want it to run and the owners were like, nah, we're sending him to the Cup. Like this horse has got a great chance in the Cup. And I don't blame him off of his prep, but I'm always of the attitude, listen to the trainer. And yeah, didn't run the trip again, bled, so now has to have a break. But he's completely fine. Don't go crowing on Twitter that it's about to die. It's completely fine. Just, a little bit of a blood nose because it popped a blood vessel in the lungs apparently. So it'll get its mandatory break and hopefully comes back better than ever and gets kept to more middle distance races.
And then the last one, Land Legend. Interesting ride.
Oh, yeah, jeez.
From Marrero.
Chris wouldn't have been happy with that one.
No way. Came out and said it was the horse that ran off, but mate, surely you got to have some control over that. You have to, and I just think he took a risk, took a gamble, and it ruined all of Waller's chances.
Yeah, tearaway leaders makes you have to do one of two things. You've either got to sit back and be really patient and just hope that they can't sustain it, or you've got to go with it. Like obviously not all the way with it, but you got to just keep up a bit of pace. First four across the line, all kept up with the pace just from a bit of a distance. Then we're like, it's going to tire eventually, but we know that we need to keep up with a little bit because we're not going to be able to sustain a sprint off of that tempo if it just completely drops off out of nowhere. The old sit and sprint tactics, we need to still do something, and that's what happened. All the other horses that stayed at the back and said, nah, he'll tire, they ended up having to pick themselves up off of a slow pace at the back, and they came nowhere. So, I mean, yeah, all of Chris Waller's backmarker chances sort of got ruled out there. River Star's the only one that had a bit of pace in its legs, was the one that came home the best.
Yeah, so not too much winning in the Cup for us, but we did walk away with the Flemington Quaddie, mate.
Love a Cup day Quaddie.
Insane. Paid $15,500 on double for us.
$8,000 everywhere else.
$8,000 more than pretty much everywhere. We had a little bit of percent in it. We only put 20 on it because we had a lot of bets on them during the day, and we still walked away with $750. So cannot complain there at all. Overall, good Cup day. Gringotts got its win.
Yep. We'll touch on that in a bit because there's a listener question coming your way about that. So all the big dance and all of that stuff, like we can touch on later. Osipenko also gets first win in Yonks. Yeah. Finally gets one on the board, so good on you, mate, for tipping that. But yeah, one thing we want to go into now. We've been having a lot of people call up, and I really like the people we get to call up. We get owners, we get racing managers, and today we've got a strapper. You don't see many other racing shows doing this. They just want to talk to the jockeys. They want to talk to the trainers. And you know what? One day I'm sure we're going to get there. We love talking to them as well. We're never going to not take a call from them. But I like that we get like those people that are just like in racing, that just like live for racing, the ones that are those passionate owners that want to call in. You know, those people that are the racing managers, like sending them to the different races, making side bets with the Jetta Bill owners. Unreal. Good luck in the Champions Sprint, by the way. But we're going to talk to Harrison Cameron today, who is the strapper of Observer. We talked about him earlier. So let's just call him up and let's just see what he has to say about the horse that is Observer and where we can expect him to go from now on.
G'day, lads.
Hello,
Hey,
mate.
mate.
How are you?
I'm good. I've had a day today.
How good.
Fantastic. So, mate, you're the lucky man that gets to strap up Observer. How the hell did that all come about? Tell us about it.
It's actually a good story. I like Observer's story. I haven't known him for too long, considering he's only just come over from Wings Camp. I remember when he won, I think it was his second. It was his second start, Sandown. Mark Zara. It was his first time riding. He won by 5 at Sound. And I was strapping one of Kira in the same race, and I thought, geez, it's really nice to strap a horse like that one day. And 2 months down the line, much of it, a message through to our movements group chat that a horse observer's coming to the Simmons stable. I go, and because I knew at the time it had just come out that we were getting dozy and stuff.
Yeah.
And then next no, he's I go, well, that's the same horse, and I spoke to the lady who gives out the straps and said, can I please claim him? And every for Kieran since looked after him and taken him in. He's actually a little champion.
Yeah,
But
nice.
still, he's got to get used to me a bit more because we've been around us too long. But
Yeah.
he's settled in great to Kieran since leaving James Cummings.
Oh, certainly, mate. He's gone from strength to strength. The flashing run in the Guineas, and then the domination that was the Vase, and then the Derby as well. Like, you have strapped yourself to one hell of a horse, my friend.
Yeah, it's no, it's actually ridiculous. It's a bit because it's sort of like it's sort of your dream to strap a one winner, and then also one like comes along and like I named him because I thought he was a really nice type, and I was impressed by him. I didn't think he was that good, and then he's running the Guineas because he was a price in the Guineas. He was like $26 or something. To run the race that he ran, getting held up by his mate of all horses on the like that, and then to come out, go around third, that's a giant for the price. And then he's gone to Moonee Valley. That was actually one of the easiest watches of my entire life.
Oh yeah, I think the punters were very happy.
Yeah, well, that was why I enjoyed two favourites that both won on Cox Day, because I knew that of any horse winning, they'd be the loudest for the favourites. And we're both the favourites, and they both won, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, no, and then he had the weight of like literally like 1,000, 10,000 plus probably multis across the country, and when he saluted, I'm sure the roar would have been huge.
I know. I bet a bunch of people would have been pretty with how close that Providence got at the end. he come pretty early on that horse.
No, mate, but
scary,
no, it's
actually.
good. So, what now with Observer? Is he put away for autumn? If so, what do you think his chances are in some of the bigger races? Do you have any idea where he could be headed, or is it too early to tell?
It's a bit too early to tell. At the moment, he's gone out as most our horses do after running in big races. So he's gone out. He might. I'm not 100% sure if they've decided he's going to stay out or if he's going to come back in. But if he is out, he won't be out for long. He will be back for autumn, 100%. Well, I'd assume so. That's what I've heard. He's a good horse, and while he's a 3-year-old, I'll keep running him in these 3-year-old races. Because he's not. I still think he's the best thing around at the moment, in my opinion.
He's definitely up there.
Yeah, so we can expect him probably like in the Guineas and the all of the derbies going around autumn time.
Yeah, so I reckon, I'm not sure, but we'll assume, especially from what he did just gone, I reckon he'd go a second up into the Australian Guineas. I'd assume.
Yep.
I think it'd be smart. That's what he did this prep. He went second to the Caulfield Guineas, obviously a mile, and if he likes to stay, he'd then target, which he's proven, obviously, he'd then target the what is it, Australian Derby, which is I think at Rank.
Yep.
I think that's I think I'd assume that's what I've heard rumors of, because everyone says everything that I've heard. And I think it'd suit him really well. I think if he stays, if he improves, I really can't see anything beating him. How that came second to him in the derby? Was it that Cora?
Cora.
Is that right?
Yeah,
That thing, that was ridiculous. That thing was that. Especially, I mean, for the price it was paying. The thing is why I was so scared for the derby, because I knew with the derby, $2 favourite doesn't mean much in the sense that the horses in the race have run the distance of the race. So that was a massive question mark for me, strapping a favourite of a Group 1.
Yeah.
But obviously he proved he was stronger. I think he proved he was smarter. He proved he was better. I don't know if it was Mark Zahra that got him over the line or his ability that got him over the line. But yeah, Mark Zahra had a ridiculous day on Saturday.
He did, and all we know is that he got there. So,
Beautiful.
What's next for you? Any actually other horses that you're strapping, or any other horses in the Mayo yard that like you can tip us into?
So I only got a few tips for the next couple of days. I reckon chocolates tomorrow, considering that I think it was called Zombardo. I think race 4. Or it was in race 4 with Shock, and it was the favourite, and I think it's going to the Champions Stakes. I think.
Okay.
So now Shock is into favourite. I think that thing just doesn't get Harry Coffey. Harry Coffey loves that too much. I reckon. Carried 54 and a half. I'm pretty sure. That's ridiculous. That is today. And then I'm strapping Keep Your Cool with Mark Zahn.
Unreal.
In I think race 3 maybe. I haven't even looked properly. I just got asked to bang, but we're gonna actually bolt in. It'll be another Cup Carnival in the H, mate.
Well, there you go.
Champions Trouble.
Keep
Champions
your cool.
Trouble. I'm having the run at the moment.
So keep your cool and chocolates on Oaks Day for punters there, guys.
And if Pride of Jenny runs at half of the skill that she did last, she'll win the Champions Mile. She's favourite for that, I'm pretty sure.
She is the Champions Mile.
Yeah,
favourite.
okay, there you go. I actually haven't looked at it since I came out. But yeah, there you go. I'll do a favourite, but
fair enough.
Pride of Jenny.
All good. Well, thank you for joining us, mate. Before
Thank you,
you go,
mates.
we got one just cheeky question that's been asked in the live chat. Tell me to get fucked if you want, but like, do you guys get a sling for winning the horse, or do you just get your standard salary?
Thank you for asking that question. Thank you for asking that question. Slings back then were a big thing, like to strappers.
Yeah.
Slings aren't a very popular thing. I've strapped probably like 30 winners now.
Yep.
And that's in my very short strapping career of like 2 years. I have received $50 from one after winning a race at the Valley, and then I received some money, some other owners for winning a stakes race at Mooney Valley. That's about it.
Oh,
and then
Stitch up.
Tony Otterbury is a unbelievably generous man.
Yeah.
The people that work with your courses.
Well,
So I'll just put that out. But no, like for observer winning, so many people have asked me. My mum always asks me, "Oh, how much money did you get?" I said, "I get paid my wage from Kieran Racing, and that's about it."
I'm gonna call up the head owner of Godolphin over there in the Middle East and tell him that he
I
needs to be paying you.
know. Surely they got to give us something, man. I can make.
Oh well, unreal. Thank you for joining us,
Thanks,
mate.
bro. Really appreciate it.
Beautiful. Thank you lots, gentlemen. Thanks for having me on.
No
Right.
worries. Thank
See
you,
you,
mate.
mate.
We'll see you.
Unreal. What's going on there? Oh, don't know there. So it cut out a little bit there. We are fixing the technology. We're still figuring it out, but it's unreal to talk to someone like that. So observer, if you didn't quite catch that, on the old Guineas and Derby path in the autumn, and then chocolates and Get a Good Feeling tomorrow for old Harrison there. Unreal, guys. So let's get into the traditional hotline. I'm only going to pick a couple because we are running short on time here, guys. But I want to hear from Ball and French, or Fenix. Sorry, I always say
Hey
French.
boys, I hope you had a cracking day yesterday and on the weekend. That quaddie was amazing. Congrats on that. Yeah, we didn't get the backflip off Idle Flyer. We didn't see the backflip, and I'm quite glad actually. I'm really glad Pride of Jenny turned up like that. Onto the weekend in the Champions Sprint. Tentyrus, I mean, I've backed him in his last 4 starts now. He's just been unreal. I've never seen anything like it for a bit. Just the way he weaves around and how he just stay like, I can't put into words. He's one of my favourites right now, and he's going up against Giga Kick, who's also one of my favourites. But I'm backing Tentyrus. He's an absolute machine, and I can't wait for it. So, enjoy, boys, and have a good one.
Legend, mate.
Legend, mate. I can't wait for it either. If it wins, you need to send us a backflip anyways. And we got Lockie Howard.
Afternoon, boys. Melbourne Cup has touched for me. I could not give a fuck about it anymore. I didn't even bet on it last year. This year, I
Criminal,
had a
not
crack
betting on
on
the
it. I
Cup's
don't know what it is. It might be the most glorified Group 1 race I've ever seen. The horses that are in it that are racing just aren't up to the standard. Middle Earth was failed in heaps of pretty simple races. I'm pretty sure he failed in a benchmark race a couple of weeks ago. Has just come third in the Melbourne Cup. Nothing against him or the bloke that rings up about Middle Earth, because look, they get third in the Cup. It's a lot of money. But fuck me, the race is down. This is just shit off a cliff.
What do you agree? Disagree?
I think the more you watch racing, the less of a big race it just shows. It's only the novelty of everyone watches it.
It's a spectacle. It is.
Yeah. It's all entertainment, all marketing, all entertainment.
And then finishing it off with Stocks, Bloodstock.
G'day, boys. Jory from Stocks Plus Stock here. I said it was free money, and it was. What a blow into Observer. Unfucking believable. That was good. This weekend,
Guy.
Pentyrus in the VSSina. The same. I think it's going to win. $5, I think it's paying. Very, very good multi this weekend, boys. But Cashy, who gets more horses beat, me or Benny Scarf? Cheers, boys.
I mean, not you anymore, bro. Not you anymore. Definitely Benny Scarf now. By the way, I've been seeing a few of Stocksy's edits on TikTok. I've been getting edited a lot from not only Stocksy, but I got an edit for the half yours thing. Someone took the clip of me talking down half yours and then edited it up with it winning with like dramatic music over it. Like it's got like 2,000 likes. Like, damn. Like that's how much I'm getting ridiculed out there on the internet now.
Moving into listener questions, Elijah asks, how many Group 1s does Sir Delius win next year?
3. Minimum of 3 if it comes back healthy.
Yeah, fair enough. Josh Lawson, Nicko's Gringotts flop of spring, bad take or still valid?
Still valid, I say. It's the big dance. It's not really a big race. Should we get Fraud Watch up just in case you want to maybe make a change to it and cross him off? I wouldn't be crossing him off or like rubbing him off as in to say he's not a fraud anymore.
Lady Shenandoah is one that is definitely can give it, I'd almost give it a fraud so far. Vaughan almost comes off Fraud Watch for that cup run in my opinion. But at the same time, I just don't think it's as good of a horse, so I just don't think it should be rated. I'm happy to leave it like that. Gringotts beat no one.
Yeah, it's the big dance. You don't get off Fraud Watch for winning the big dance.
No, it beat no one. And what was it? What's that horse? Headley Grange?
Headley Grange,
Headley Grange had an outside barrier, just couldn't get it done. That's all it was at the end of the day. Beat no one. So
have we got the pen here? I do want to add one horse.
Other side of your computer.
I'm adding linebacker.
Are you sure?
Yes. Always trials like Tarzan, runs like Jane.
Had a good win 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but then what did it do in the Golden Eagle? 2/5 of F all.
Had a tendon injury, I heard.
I heard that as well. I won't reveal my sources, but I heard that. We're going to put it there just in case that's isn't true.
That is rough.
I'm not here to, copulate arachnids as the person in our tipping comp calls himself. There you go. Fraud Watch update.
John Blackwell, most disappointing and most exciting run in the Cup. Most disappointing. Presage Nocturne for you. Buckaroo, I guess. And then surprising is probably Middle Earth.
Yeah, Middle Earth, 100%. All goody two shoes.
Top 5 jockeys in Australia right now. J-Mac.
Shin, Carr, Zara.
Lane.
Yeah, bang.
Their chance to start Winks odds here. Yep. Best horse of all time. Winks.
Winks or File Up. Osmosis.
Winks.
What? Who said that?
Can Pride Jenny do it again after 1 week backup? We'll say that in a minute. Sam Suster, do you think it's a smart decision to invest in racing right now?
I messaged him because I saw that and I said, what do you mean by that? And he has yet to get back to me. So if he's willing to ask that question again for next week, more than happy to answer it. I just have no idea if he means invest in like horses, invest in punting, invest in just like becoming a racing fan. I have no idea what he meant by that.
And then last one, remind me this time next year to never bet on an import donkey from Lucas Estelle.
I mean, dude, I'm with you. I bet on an import every single year and I'm yet to win the Melbourne Cup. Someone in the chat goes, how is Jamie Carr top 5? That's ridiculous. She literally just won the Cups double. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
If I can admit it, you can admit it.
Yeah, come on, lad. That's everything.
Yes, so we're about to head into the Rosehill rundown. Make sure if you are listening to any of these bets, you can copy them on Dabble. Use code MOXSports when signing up to let them know we sent you. But make sure to imagine what you can be buying instead set a deposit limit. Okay, and if you're still listening, give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe. We're getting closer and closer to 1,000 YouTube subscribers. We're getting there, and once we hit it, we are going to be doing a bit of a giveaway. So the track, look, we had a very, very rainy week last week. Not anymore at the moment. It is nice and dry in Sydney, but there is meant to be a storm on Saturday night. Could it come earlier? Maybe. So that might play a bit of havoc with it, but we should be starting on a good 4, and the rail is in the true position the entire circuit. We start with the highway as always, but for once, it's not full of like 24 donkeys going around because they all ran on Cup Day at the 50-plus tracks that was going around. So we're here with a 12-horse highway field that you're never going to really see. I'm going to play 2 massive ones each way here, both out of the Tony Ball camp. I'm talking about the 2 horses that are the longest in the odds with the Purple Silks and the White Lightning Bolts. They are both distance specialists. They're both going to be riding the back of some pace, and they're both ultra consistent, barely ever out of the placings. And if they're ever going to run a drum, it's going to be in this situation where they don't have to run into 24 other speed bumps. So I'm taking star prediction each way at $71 and $12 to place, and highly tempted each way at $67 to win, $12 to place. Small plays, heavier on the place, but if I'm ever going to get a winner at this price, it's going to be in this highway. What are your thoughts on the race, Nick?
Yeah, I'll take Favour the Bold. 2 wins on the trot, going for 3 in a row, coming up to Sydney from Scone. Race number 2, midway, 1,300 metres. Usually I'm stuck with the highway, so I'm glad you got to get that one out of the way, mate. I'm going with Moto Scafo. I think that's how you say it, $7.50. Second, first up was good enough for me at Randwick. Looked nice behind the favourite for this one, but just ran nicely, so I'm going to go with it here.
Yeah, screamed back me next start, did that horse. But I'm going with Amaretto Bow. Shout out to the team at Monarch Racing. Jay Ford rides for Richard Litt. Ran in that exact same midway, but just didn't quite get into its gears fully. It is more of a horse that I think will be suited by this 1,300 metre distance because it's 2 big wins this prep have been at 1,250 metres. So maybe it just needs that extra distance that it didn't get on the day at 1,200 metres there behind Oakfield, Jupiter and Motor Scafo. $19 to win, $4.30 to place. If a couple of mine hit, we're going to be starting off huge at Rosehill. 2,400 metre race 3, Shandon benchmark 78. Solid little race here for the benchmark stayers. War Ribbon's a great each way chance. Shout out to you, Will Mitchell. But I cannot look past the favourite here in the Budgie Smuggler. Great name, by the way. Great name. Absolutely smashed its opponents last start, which included War Ribbon. Only query is it probably does prefer wet over the dry, so it's probably hoping that storm does come earlier. But at $2.60, it's short, but I think deserves to be short, should be winning.
Yeah, mate, I'm with you. Budgie Smuggler looks good. Won nicely at the distance last start. 4th race here, 1,200 metres, benchmark 78. I'm going with Midnight Dynamite here, $3.70. Not a high price. The only real concern is the top weight, 58.5 kilos. Is a lot of weight to be carrying. But I think it's the best horse in this race. Can get it done and won really nicely at the same distance, at the 1,300, last start.
Yeah, look, mate, great minds think alike. Why would you be going against it? Okay, drops back in distance here, but also I think it has an easier field than it did last week. Obviously, to be fair, Polyglot, the firm favourite, had to be pulled out of the race, so you got to thinking of that. But I mean, Bjorn, when he gets these horses to really try and capture it form, throws them on the week back up, they're rock hard fit. I mean, the only negative, it needs to carry those couple of extra kegs, but I think going to be good enough here. So I'm with you there with Midnight Dynamite. As we move to race 5, the 1,800 metre benchmark 78. Open race here, despite the favourites, Hurstville, Zagreb and Brave Call both being very firm. But I'm going to play one at each way odds here, Lascare. Just been slowly putting away his opponents with ease at each start and building a nice picket fence through the grades at weekday. Gets a chance to go to Saturday now. Ever since he's joined the Archibald stable, he's barely ever far away from the finish. Should be either the leader or one back of the leader going into the straight, and hopefully shows his strength when Sherry presses that button. $6.50 to win, $2.50 to place.
Yeah, that's a brave call. because I'm on Brave Call. $3.60.
There you go.
Last two starts up in Queensland were good enough for me. Coming down to Sydney for this one, Tommy Berry rides should be good. We skip
Race 6,
race
yes.
6, so take
race
us to race
7.
7, mate.
This one's going to be pretty simple. Miss Roombini, the form behind Steffi Magnetica and Seppels is just too hard to ignore, especially after Seppels came out and did what it did in the Golden Eagle. You know, run unreal behind Autumn Glow. Plus also throw in some form behind Magic Time, which has, you know, Everest form and is also going to be starting in the Champions Sprint. So, I mean, why not here? $2.45 again, short, but really just should be winning.
Yeah, I'm going with Maraval Rose here. The only real chance, I think, to beat your horse here, and it's got good form behind a bounding down in Melbourne, who's running really well at the moment. So I'm going to beat you in that one, mate. Has had a pretty good prep so far. Last start was a bit disappointing, but I'm going for a bounce back here.
Unreal, mate. We skip race 8. That's in the tip-off. So race 9, 1,100-metre benchmark 78. Another open one here. And I'm actually pretty keen to be playing a horse at each way odds here. That's called Strata Arena. Long-time listeners will the pod, if they cast their mind all the way back to September last year, was one of the nicer horses trialling at the 2-year-old trials at Randwick there that I went out to. Won nicely as in its maiden, but then failed to really go on with the job and got put away after failing to get into the Golden Slipper. Now comes here as a 3-year-old, new owners as well, been trialling really well, gets the setup for her best run, sticky barrier, but I mean, could be too good at $11 to win, $2.80 to place.
I'm settling with Taxation here at $4.40. Joe Pride trained and Tyler Schiller ridden. It's had 2 good wins in a row, and yeah, it's been trialling very nicely before that as well, so I'm backing it here. Taxation in the 9th.
Lovely,
Move
mate.
to the last 1,400 metres, benchmark 78. Bit of a quaddie killer here, but I'm going to settle with Alabama State at nice each way odds. Pilco has set it up for a grand final, and that was supposed to be last week. Got a bit of rain, got scratched, so it's going to be in grand final form here. It should be set up nicely. Good each way odds. Barry's a bit annoying, but pretty happy with it here and doesn't carry an absolute top weight. So harder field for sure, but got to be each way.
Yep, I love you, Pilco, and I hope you do win, but I can't let Frosty Girl go around without me. Sorry, she's short, but she is classy. Black Booker of mine that I've backed every start, and it's 3 from 3. So again, back until they fail here. But I will be having a small each way play on Alabama State as well, and making sure it's in the quaddie. All right, we whip through those tips because it's, you know, where the races start to drop off in Sydney. Rosehill, obviously, you know, finish off today, and then we go to the provincials for a couple of weeks, and then we finish up as well. But we move to the tip-off. You've got to find 40 points somewhere, mate, in the next 3 weeks. I mean,
I'm just going to be chipping away this week.
This is the day that
I've still got 2 jokers up my sleeve as well. But I'm just going to start chipping away.
This is the day you did hit Pericles and made a big jump last year. Unfortunately, I still ran you down, but don't worry, man. Like I'm not counting my eggs before they hatch here. I know that you are capable of catching me here. You know, 40 points might seem like a lot, but there is still 11 races, mate, and that's 4 points a race. It's doable, but. We're going to quickly touch on the VRC Oaks. We're going to go through it in a bit of detail, even though there is a very, very short favourite that should be winning. It is a nice big Group 1. It's a traditional Group 1 that, you know, it's a highlight of the Flemington Carnival. Mate, can you just take us through that field on the Thursday?
Yep, let me just get it up, mate. Here we go. So Get a Good Feeling is your short price favourite at $1.80 at the moment. The Pearls at $7.50, Spicy Lou at $9.50, Just a Journey, Ethereum Girl, She's a Diva, Strictly Business, After Summer, Zoo Claire, surely you're on that, mate. It's Voting Rights, Mariso Ojo, and Classic Gem and Janie Bopper.
Yeah, it's an interesting field. The Oaks always is there, and the last few years there has always been a very clear-cut favourite, and they usually always piss in. Treasure of the Moment was last year's. And then if you cast your mind a few years back, you also had She's Extreme, I believe was her name. I hope I'm remembering that right because I was definitely on it and, you know, did very, very well. And then, of course, we all know her and love her, but she hasn't really done a lot since. But Zardozi also pissed in on her day as well. It's a race for the favourites. So Get a Good Feeling will be very hard to beat, but you're going to have plenty of horses trying to get it beat. You're going to have your Just a Journeys getting up there on pace, your Spicy Lose, as well as your voting rights for the Gay Waterhouse camp. The Get a Good Feeling owners would be pissed off if it gets knocked off by the old horse that is under their care, but at a much higher price of the $31 voting rights to Get a Good Feeling. And then you have Strictly Business probably coming a little bit later, the one that came second behind Get a Good Feeling last start. And really, in that wakeful that they came through, the form the last few years is you've really got to be running top 2 in that race if you want to be running any good in the Oaks, or you just need to have different form. If you want to be coming through that wakeful and you're not placing, or at least running top 2, you're likely not going to be running very well here, mate. What do you like in the race?
Look, I need points. Get a Good Feeling should be winning, and it'll be a first leg in a couple of multis for us this weekend, which we've already put on Dabble, so you can go have a look. But I need some points, man. They all pretty much have the exact same form line. It's hard to go past. The only real one that I'm going to go for, and I'm going for an each way here, is Voting Rights. That's the one I'm going to stick with. $31, $5.25. Third place behind Get a Good Feeling. Hopefully can run a nice place again for $5, get me a couple more points. But if it snags the win, I'll be absolutely cheap.
You'll be right back in it, mate.
Voting Rights for me in that one, but Get a Good Feeling is my tip for tipping. And then for the tip-off, it is my Voting Rights.
Yes, of course. If you're just joining us, you get a point for every dollar that it is. If it's $1 each way, keep tuning in if you've just joined us as well. I mean, the Pearls, J-Mac's always got to be considered, isn't he? Has the different form line, obviously, through the Spring Champions Stakes, was third behind Attica and Shangri-La Boy. But I mean, the Spring Champions Stakes hasn't really been franked in the last couple of weeks for all of the horses that have run since. So, I mean, do you take that form? I don't know, up to you. Spicy Lose, one of your old favourites, mate. It's your black booker, and you'll be kicking yourself if it gets up. Really hit a purple patch of form. As has Just a Journey as well. Been real luckless this prep. 2-1-2-2 for Just a Journey. Again, though, I mean, Get a Good Feeling will be very, very hard to beat. And I've got it on top. Won't be tipping it in the tip-off because I may as well go for a bit of an each-way play, heavier on the place. But Get a Good Feeling will be extremely hard to beat. First leg of it into Via Sistina. First leg of it into Via Sistina, into other horses on the day this Saturday, you'd have to think. It is a favourites race. The favourite should be winning. But if it's going to be losing, I think it is to the horse that came second to it last start, and that's Strictly Business with Johnny Allen on board. Cheeky little each-way play there at $11 to win, $2.60 each way. Again, if it wins, laughing. But I'm just looking for the place here behind Get a Good Feeling. I'll be playing the exactor as well. If I had to pick 4, I would say Get a Good Feeling on top, then Strictly Business, and then third would be Spicy Lou, and then 4, Just a Journey. But yeah, good luck if you are gambling on Oaks Day. I have a couple of Oaks Day tips that we heard of earlier from Harrison there, but I've got a couple as well that I'll touch on in around the grounds. But let's head back to the Saturday races. Race 6 at Rosehill, the Golden Gift, the 2-year-old race. If you run well in this, you get your automatic ballot into the Golden Slipper, mate. What are your thoughts here?
A horse that I really liked before drawing the absolute car park was Plagiarism. That was one that I was going to be looking to go with, but I think it's because it's got the car park. I don't know if I can settle with it here. I think me personally here, I have to go with a debutante. They're unpredictable, but that's where I'm going to get the most value out of it. I'm going each way odds again with a name bet.
Oh, yeah.
Threesome. $20 for the win, $4.30. Threesome. Won its trial last start at Warwick Farm. Good enough for me. That was such a fake laugh, by the way. And
No,
also,
it wasn't. That's funny. I didn't expect it though. That's why it caught me off guard.
Yeah. So
Caught me off guard there.
threesome for me.
Nice. Persian Wonder again. Shout out to you, Will Mitchell, with the 200 to 1 horse.
Shut up, Will.
But I mean, I want to be boring, but the favourite Revengeance was the one that I wanted to follow out of that Breeders' Plate. It was the one that I had on top as my best boy, or one of my best boys coming out of the trials as well. I really like the way it's hungry at the line. It continues to savage it. It did in its trial to get up. Tried it in the race, didn't quite get up, but gets its chance here in the Golden Gift. I really like it there, Revengeance. It's one of my more confident plays on the day. And I mean, it's hard to be confident in these 2-year-old races, but if the best of him rocks up that he's shown in the trials and he's one run, should be winning here. As we move to race 8, the 5 Diamonds, which is, I think, in the 3 years that they've been running it, I don't think we've lost it. We've had Unspoken, we've had Pericles, and we've had Ellsberg. So let's see if we can go 4 for 4, mate.
Look, I am going to settle with Rise at Dawn here. Been pretty good this prep. Pretty faultless, but just hasn't had that win that it probably was looking for. I think can get it done. $4.80 is a price I can chip away at you, mate, and I'm happy with it.
Look, Transatlantic will be super hard to beat. That barrier doesn't help. It was phenomenal last start. The race was over 300 metres out, and it could be just here as well. And I was going to be on it until a horse named Bullet Point came along. I mean, Chris Waller has started this pop-up race hoping that something like this would happen, that a haggis sends a horse just for this race, which is, the traditionalists will hate it, but, I mean, it's worked, hasn't it? Like, the internationals have started paying attention to the Everest, they started paying attention to the Golden Eagle, and now he's gotten the intention for the 5 Diamonds because it's a big money race and these internationals want to win some money. Bullet Point has been sent over here, has great European form, will like the conditions. You'd have to think will eat up the distance. It's more of a miler horse, but it's always been strong through the line. Haggis doesn't ever send a horse down here for a haircut. I'm keen on it. $6 to win, $2 to place. Yeah. Whenever do you get an international coming to Australia for a race like this? All over Bullet Point in the 5 Diamonds there. I really hope it gets up as well to really feed my international addiction. But we move over to Flemington now. The Champions Sprint, race 6. It's Giga Kick, it's Tentyrus, it's Jolly Star, it's box office, it's what it is. Who have you got and why?
I'm going Giga Kick. Okay. Great win first up. Looked back. I think a couple of runners were pretty lucky that it didn't end up snagging its way into the Everest because I think it could have done some real damage. Ran its best at good price as well. I think the Tentyrus is a big one to watch, and Jolly Star will probably be snapping up a trifecta there as well. I think they'll all be there by the end, but Giga Kick to get it done.
I hate to be the guy to try and block you there with some points, but I've settled with Giga Kick as well. They're all proven in the straight though. Jolly Star, Group 1 winner over the straight. Tentyrus, Group 1 winner over the straight. I'm not sure if Giga Kick has actually won a Group 1 down the straight, but has won many a race down the straight. Well, 2, if you call that many, but it's more than 1. But yeah, just I think unlike Jolly Star and Tentyrus, who have seen this is sort of all afterthoughts for them, whereas Giga Kick is on the up, headed to more targets. So I think he's going to be more primed to run in this. Tentyrus is obviously going to be very hard to beat if he brings his best like he did last week, down to 53 kilos, now 53 and a half, sorry. Craig Williams rides him instead of Mark Zara because Mark Zara was already booked and can't make that weight anyways. But I mean, will be very hard to beat, and I do respect it. I'll cover him in the quaddie, but what I will say is he either is the country's best sprinter or he regresses slightly, because that was a phenomenal run. If he goes to another level to win this, I can't see why people can't argue that he's the country's best sprinter. First go at weight for age, tackling these horses off the back of that phenomenal run. So yeah, he's either the country's best sprinter or he goes backwards. I'm going to bank that he goes a teensy bit backwards, but just backwards enough for Giga Kick to run over the top of him late. But he will be extremely hard to beat, as will Jolly Star if they bring their best. Box those trifectas. I don't really see anything else splitting them. As we move to race 7, mate. This one requires a bit of picking apart because race 8 is pretty straight bat. But the Champions Mile, hell of a field.
Yeah, mate. Lots going on here. You got Brightside, you got Shell Wolf off a win. You got Pericles, who had won at the start of the prep as well, paying a good $15. Lake Forest, who was disappointing first up, but had a lot of excuses. Stapati, always a good place getter, which I don't mind if you go each way. Von Hawk off a win. Pride of Jenny off an amazing win with the 1 week backup is always good. Steffi Mag off a win as well. Treasure, been disappointing, but at her best she can win as well. Like a Lucy, probably thought she won. The horse probably thought she won after falling 6 or 7 lengths behind Pride of Jenny at $8. So yeah, great field, mate. There's two honestly, it's hard because
Jenny, is that why it's hard?
It can be anything, right? Like I can see any of these horses winning, bar Stapati and Von Hawk.
Yeah, like Jenny, proven with the week back up. That's how she rose to fame, doing this week back up a couple of years ago. You've also got Chia Wolf, who seems to only really run his best when he's got Jenny leading him up. All of his best runs in his career have come off the back of Jenny setting the pace for him. Mr. Brightside, the old war horse that just doesn't slow down no matter how hard we try to get him to slow down. Pericles, the X Factor, who seems to be a luckless loser, is always never far away in some of the country's biggest races. Lake Forest, the X Factor with the International. Steffi Mag, the X Factor with, doesn't have the class as some of these, but is still Group 1 proven. Treasure, is she back to her best? And then like a Lucy again, probably coming off the confidence of thinking she won last week, even though she didn't. What have you settled with?
I've settled with like a Lucy here. I think
very fair.
Her second place, like I said, it was almost a win for her, really, the way that Jenny gets up. I think someone like a Von Hawk, someone has to challenge her. Maybe a Lake Forest will move up. Obviously, Lake Forest's camp was very unhappy about the first up run and gave Zach Pert an absolute hounding. So we'll see a very different run with Tommy Markin on board.
I also think it's Pericles, I reckon, is going to be the one.
Yeah. Pericles will get up there as well. Yeah, Pericles will probably be the one to be.
Pericles and then Treasure the Moment behind it.
Even Brightside. Brightside could challenge it enough where it's going to go too early, too quick, too early.
Yeah, 100% as well.
But yeah, like a Lucy, I think, should time it right. If she had someone challenging Pride Jenny, she would have won that race last week. So I like the 1 week backup. Good enough form for me. So it's going to be like a Lucy for a good amount of points. If she comes in, I might change. Like I'm gonna be watching on the day for the points. Like if someone goes out and if a Brightside gets out to $7 or $8, I'd probably take a Brightside.
That's fair. It's very fair.
For like a Lucy comes into $4, I need points. So a lot of this will be a really tough race and a good one to watch. So I'll be looking. I'll settle with like a Lucy right now at the $8 mark and hoping she'll go out even more. But I'll be watching closely and changing it within my 5-minute limit before the race.
Yeah, look, if you can't beat them, join them. We throw enough respectful shit, but shit nonetheless, at Mr. Brightside saying that he's got to slow down eventually, and he just doesn't. And honestly, this could be his swan song. It could just be his swan song if he's able to get up, and there'll be a lot of punters on him. And I think Jenny will get pressured. She'll fold, and the old war horse, Mr. Brightside, comes home for yet another Group 1. And then you've got to start to have the conversation, is he one of the best of all time in Australian ranks? Because he's won enough Group 1s to justify being in that conversation. I mean, $5, yeah, you've just got to back him. I reckon he's a lock for a place, at least. A lock. I think Via Sistina win into Mr. Brightside place is your lock multi of the weekend, just like it was Glow and Observer last week. I'm very, very keen on it, and that's already up on Dabble if you want to download Dabble and use code MOXSPORTS when signing up to let them know we sent you. But yeah, that's how I've settled, and then we go into the Champion Stakes, mate, which doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure out who I'm going to be on. It's Via Sistina. The only other horse in the country that could have ended up in this race to beat her would have been Lindemann, and he didn't come. How could any of these horses in this field justify potentially beating Via Sistina? Unless she just regresses heaps off of her Cox Plate run.
Yeah, I'm going to settle outside of her. There's no point in me going for her. I'm going to settle with Tom Kitten, $9.50. Going for hopefully a bit of a chill wolf kind of upset in terms of hasn't been at the best of the abilities for this prep, but hopefully come out and have a nice run and win nicely. At his best, he can win. So $9.50 is a good price, and I'll be chipping away. Jasper is in my head.
Okay, mate. Well, what have you found around the grounds, whether it be Oaks Day, Saturday, anything outside the features that you found?
I'm keen to get around Harrison with his 2 tips and Oaks Day tomorrow. I'm also liking race number 4 at Flemington. She's a hustler. And then in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes at the 2,600 metres, race number 5. That sounds weird to say. Settled with Birdman, which was a cup chance, and a lot of people liked it for the cup and
just didn't get in the race.
So it's going to be nice here, I think.
And Chris Waller loves this race, and the owners of that horse love this race. They always have one that comes in internationally and is a huge chance. This is Solcombe race. This is how Solcombe announced his, intentions to the world.
Is he ever going to come back?
Don't know. I can't remember if he got officially retired or not.
Neither.
But yeah, Oaks Day, keen to get around Harrison, but I'm also keen to get around Apulia. Was a Cup Day tip that just got scratched because it didn't want to run in the wet. We go to Saturday, race 2, Sabaj. Same deal there. Should have run on Cup Day, didn't because of the wet. Race 4, Al Cance is back. One of our favourites. Weirdly, ran in a Wyong Cup with a ton of weight first up and just the weight bogged it down. But now gets back to a much more suitable race. Should be winning and at a great price as well. And then Golden Snap in the Queen Elizabeth at $13 to win, $3.60. The Japanese hasn't just flown straight home. They've stuck around. They're going to give it the 2 runs that they intended to have it here because they were going to go Caulfield in the Melbourne Cup. And they didn't get that second run because it didn't get into the Melbourne Cup. So, they're not here for a haircut. They want to get it a win. Should be putting in a good run there. So, mate, let's go through our quaddies that we've hit a purple patch of quaddies. Let's keep it going. Take us through.
Yeah, for sure. Rosehill, we got race 7, Miss Rumbini, Maraval Rose, and Buhinia. 2, 3, and 9. Race 8, you got Transatlantic, Rise at Dawn, Bullet Point, and Shadizi. That's 1, 3, 8, and 10. Race 9, you got Taxation, Spirit of Wealth, Strata Verena, and Silver Wedding. That's 5, 6, 9, 11. Race 10, Frosty Girl, More, Jude, Alabama State, and Yes Lulu. That's 5, 9, 10, 11. And $50 will get you 26%. Flemington, race 6, pretty simple. Giga Kick, Jolly Star, and Tentaris, 1, 6, 10. Race 7, Brightside, Jenny, Treasure, and Like a Lucy. That's 1, 7, 9, 10. Race 8, VL1 out. Race 9, we got Stolly Bolly, Ballastar, Sweethearted, Actuality, 6, 10, 11, 16. $50 gets you 104%, which is
biggest percentage we've ever had on this show.
For sure. If you had 100% of our Melbourne Cup Quaddie, you would have been absolutely cheering. So that is us, mate. Best bet around the country. What are you taking?
Rosehill, race 7, Miss Rumbini. The form lines are too good to pass up here. Surely gets up.
Fair enough, mate. It's a tough one for me. There's not too many that I'm absolutely yelling at. I'm going to settle with Budgie Smuggler, I think.
Fair enough.
Race number 3, $2.60, Budgie Smuggler.
Your best roughie?
Did I tip a roughie today? I don't think I even tipped one, did I?
You didn't, but is there anything that you could potentially take at odds?
I'll settle with... I did. What race was it? The 2-year-old race, the Golden Gift. So I'll go with my...
Threesome.
Go with the threesome.
I'm going Shadizi in that 5 Diamonds, a horse that's never really gotten to show its best. And
that'll be a fun post to post up for you.
Finally,
Nick wants threesome.
If you hit it and you're just going to be like, I want threesome, best roughie. It's going to be very popular on socials. But yeah, finally gets a distance where it should be able to show its best. I am keen on Bullet Point, and obviously Transatlantic will be very hard to beat, but that's one at odds, $35. Not the worst $35 chance going around on Saturday, that's for sure. Well, mate, comes to the end of Cup Week and the busy time of racing. The last few weeks has just been non-stop for us. All of the, runner-by-runner previews, Cup Week itself. We finally come to the end of it. In the next couple of weeks, we get a bit of normalcy and we get to go back to our, half an hour to 40-minute pods. And you also get a bit of a break yourself, mate.
Yeah, you won't be seeing me next week. And the week after, I will be out. I'm going to Thailand.
You out for the season finale as well?
I think I will be. And maybe I'll organise a call in for that one.
Yeah, at least call us with your Group 1 tips. We need to know who you're going to tip off.
But yeah, heading to Thailand for 2 weeks, which I'm looking forward to with my girlfriend. So
my girlfriend.
That'll be nice and fun. And yeah, lots of golf to be played over there with. You get caddies. I was going to say, yeah. Anyway, you get caddies for you there. So taking my clubs over, I'm looking forward to it. Loving it. Got my first eagle last week as well in golf. Loving golf.
You just had to slip that one in. I actually did get a listener question that I wanted to bring up eventually if you actually, brought up the golf. Brendan, is Nick a better golfer than Matt Rivetto?
Me and Matt Rivetto have a bet on right now, and he's always been better than me. He's got 2 years of golf on me, but I'm 0.4 off my handicap off him. I'm currently a 17.1, and he's a 16.7. And I have a bet at the end of summer. Whoever's on top wins some money.
Fair enough. Talk about bets. The live chat has mentioned the Pilates.
They cancelled
on us the day of. And
honestly,
they've ghosted us since. We are trying to get back in contact with them to try and reorganise. But yeah,
it won't be done now until I get back from Thailand. So
at least add another month onto it. It'll happen. Like you might have to eat chilies while doing Pilates. It could double them up here, but it will get done. Even if it's a year after we made the bet, it's gonna get done. We finally found a studio that would do it, and then we've sort of been left in the lurch. So we hope that they come back to us because we're happy to do it with them. But yeah, that's what's happened with Pilates. If
they fucking ghosted us, bro. We got ghosted by a fucking Pilates studio. This is ridiculous. Anyway,
we will do it eventually, guys.
Chili's and Pilates class. Yeah, that's probably why the poor instructor.
Do a crunch, bite a chili. Do a crunch, bite a chili. All right, guys. Well, you can say goodbye to Nicko, but you'll be seeing me next week for the Hunter, I think. Yeah, the Hunter. Let's do it. See you next week, guys.
And back behind those horses, I Am Unstoppable. Osmosis at the clock tower, led by a length to Shinzo, Arkansas Kid, and I Am Unstoppable is running on. The leader, Osmosis, with 50 metres to go. Osmosis is clear and will take it out.